All right, what's going on, folks? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another episode of the Bordello. I'm here dressed like a Puerto Rican man. I was wearing nothing when you got here.
You're wearing scantily clad apparel.
Muay Thai shorts. I haven't shaved in 2 weeks. My beard's a mess. I was walking around like a caveman, and I smelled like smoke. I tried to barbecue on our outdoor patio where we find ourselves currently.
You look like the homeless problem right now in Montreal.
That's fair. That's
you
fair.
embody it.
That's fair. But I ate well tonight. I had bavette that we bought on sale and we froze
Exactly. Poor people steak.
it. Yeah, but that's financially responsible. We froze bavette, and we had, listen, we're living humbly, but we're living well. We're in a courtyard. There are Arab neighbors blaring music from their homeland. Television shows on another.
Which country, if you had to guess? It sounded very Persian.
Lebanese. Oh,
really?
Would you say? I would.
It sounded very Persian.
Maybe. I cannot distinguish between Farsi and Arabic. But what I liked about it was I couldn't tell if it was from above or below where we were. I heard foreign.
Allah is above and below everywhere all at once.
Right. It sounded like the call to prayer. I was joking with you.
Really? They're turning to Mecca, I think.
Yeah. So things could be better, but we're doing all right here.
I'm joking. It's nice.
It's a humble spot
nice.
we found ourselves.
Like just past it's past the touristy area of the old Montreal,
which is what I like.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we're doing all right, but we don't have like a gas barbecue. I have like this little camping smoker that I tried to make a couple steaks on earlier today, and it took 45 minutes. Like how long it took to set up this podcast, which Nick said. Nick Genoletti's back on the pod, by the way. If you're not familiar with him, you gotta go back in the archives. From way before
a long time,
way before we were on YouTube. This pod's been around for probably way longer than it should have, given how humbly small the listenership is. But you were part of it from the beginning when it was the Calcio podcast. So you're back. It's the first time you've come on in a while. We haven't even chatted in person since the Italy-Albania game. So. Yeah, we haven't hung around in a while. And I thought it might be nice to just kind of catch up on the pod and have a little hang, and nothing's changed.
And then you decide to torture me against my will.
Nick's been up since 5 a.m. and I said, "Would you like a cigarette?" Because you're tired, and he said, "Don't be a cunt."
Let's add some context to this story. It takes Sam over an hour to set up his podcast.
I wanted to.
Who specifically told me it was gonna be set up for when I got here. Because I explicitly let him know that I've been up very early, but I wanted to visit his new house.
I was constipated.
I wanted to be a nice friend. He asked me to be on the podcast. I wanted to be a nice friend, and he brings the worst out of me. It's just.
It's not a nice side to you. You
even had the gall. You even had the gall.
You get very mean.
You even had the gall to say, "You can leave when it's done." You can leave when it's done.
I said,
thank you.
In an hour, you could leave. You'll be in bed by just a hair after midnight. And you threatened to jump off the balcony.
I said if there was anything to induce me to jump off the balcony at this very moment, this particular last hour would be in the top 3.
You're very mean. You get very mean. And this is actually why the pod... this was kind of the severance point. It was COVID. We were only doing pods on Zoom. We had
that's why you do this fucking thing alone.
We had 400 people listening to us, so not enough to make money. And every time we would set up, I would be like, hang on, wait, let's go over all the fucking thoughts I've had this week, and I would just delay. I would always be scared to start the episode. I'm still scared to just start recording. And also, we never record in the same spot. Every one of the last 3 or 4 weeks has been in a different location. I have a setup inside for the pod with Gazzetta backgrounds from times we've won titles, okay, so that when I'm not at my parents' house where the old studio is, which I hope to still use with D'Lo, we're meant to use here. But I thought, hey, let's go outside. I like experimenting. It keeps, I don't know. I get nervous when it comes pod time, and I was constipated before. So before you got here, I thought maybe I'll rip some cheeky heat, and then I'll jump in the shower. And I tried to have a moment of myself outside. I was telling you, I thought I'll try to rip it real quick before my girlfriend gets back from the gym downstairs, so that she won't, see me smoking a cigarette and say, "Oh, you're smoking a cigarette." Not that she cares, but I feel inclined to, like, even if she says, "Oh, hi," and doesn't say anything, even if she sees me smoking a cigarette, I feel inclined to be like, "Oh, like it's the summer, it's nice out." I've been severely constipated. It really helps me. It helps relax the muscles. It raises testosterone by 13 to 15%. Some studies say. So I feel like I have to explain myself.
What does that say about you that you need to do that?
I'm a human being. I'm a human being. I think it's a fairly normal reaction to just get defend. I'm just like, oh yeah, I was feeling the vibe. We got a couple packs left. I thought it might be nice. I'm in control. I don't believe in zins. I like the sensory experience of sitting down with music, and I'm thinking about my life when all this is going on, and then out of nowhere I get a text, "Where are you?" And I see, I was telling you before, my girlfriend starts fumbling through the curtains to like poke outside to see me. So I was hoping to go to the bathroom and quickly shower. Like there's always a lot to squeeze in, brother. There's always a lot to squeeze in. It's always got to be perfect because I care very deeply.
But the thing that infuriates me is how you even prefaced all this by saying you did nothing the whole day for 10 hours.
No, I didn't tell you.
Nothing.
No, I didn't say
You're
that.
Like, I did nothing. I sat on my couch. I scratched my balls. I scratched my face.
I didn't say that.
Here we are.
I said
an hour and 50 minutes later after setting up your podcast.
No, I said I look like a caveman.
And you couldn't squeeze that in during your day.
I said I look like a caveman. I'm walking around shirtless. I haven't touched my beard in a long time. I'm making steaks, and I've just been in my apartment all day. So my point was I haven't like showered. Like I'm disgusting. I was saying like I'm a bearded fucking baboon right now. I'm just like a bearded, shirtless baboon, and I'm outside taking creatine for a few days, and I just feel like I'm just fucking. I felt like the Liver King. I was just saying I just been in my condo sweating all day, with the Olympics on, periodically glancing at my phone to try to earn a meager living while watching women's sevens rugby.
Living the dream.
Living the dream. And I tried barbecuing before, and I spent 20 minutes trying to get the coals hot, and then I did, and then I put them into the smoker, and there was nothing left. They basically incinerated, so I panicked, and I tried to like put more coals over them, and that took long to heat up too. And then the grill, I started cleaning the grill, but it's not secured. It's a tiny little grill on like an IKEA piece of furniture. This really unsturdy, I guess, table. I don't even know what you would call that. It's kind of like a table you put in your. It's like a side table that you would put in your entrance to put your keys on.
I don't know what I would Google to try to find that table.
So it's a really big. Yeah, it's a Swedish table. It's a Scandinavian table. It's like it's a table that fits in weirdly configured Scandinavian homes, and so my little camping barbecue is propped up on this thing, and it's not sturdy. And I started cleaning the barbecue, and the grill fell off. It fell off. And I saw it happen in slow motion. It fucking cling through the glass onto the downstairs neighbor's balcony, and I had to go down. I had to put on a shirt for the first time today. My slides to go knock on a gay man's door and be like, "Yeah, hi, sorry, I'm there in my Muay Thai shorts with my tattooed legs." And
I just took the earphone off to see if he was like listening or piping up or something.
And I was like, "Yeah, sorry, I was clear." I didn't want him to know that I was the guy right above him, so I said, "Yeah, I live on one of the floors above you." And I think yeah. By the way, I know I'm on my balcony and I look down and I see my girl, but I'm like, I live above you, and I dropped my grill. I was trying to clean it, and I think it fell down to your floor. I could be wrong. I think it's on your balcony. I'm sorry. I'm just checking everyone below me. Dude, I'm fucking ripping ass right now, dude. Oh my god, dude.
You're nasty.
This is awful, man. I'm dying right now. I got you threatening to leave and jump off the balcony. I was constipated, and now my ass muscles are super relaxed, and I can't even shit. I put on a shirt for you. I put on a shirt and a hat for you.
I appreciate it.
I look Caribbean.
You look less of a crackhead now.
I don't think that's fair. I think a lot of people go out like. I was at not Mont Lapin. What's the place? I was at Liverpool House a few weeks ago, for an event, and it's a very nice restaurant. It's not cheap. There's people there in like just ball caps and haven't shaved in 3 weeks and wearing beater shoes.
But that's the vibe. It's isn't that what's his name? The guy that started those restaurants.
There's
Chuck
two,
Hughes.
there's
Chuck
two-
Hughes.
Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
that's the vibe of most of his
He
restaurants?
didn't start that restaurant. Yeah, I know. Something Belanger and Macmillan. Those
Oh,
guys,
really?
They were on Bourdain. Yeah. The guys that
I
opened
thought
Joe
it
Beef.
was. I thought it was Hughes. I don't know why.
No, well, anyway, they're all kind of in that same scene.
Okay.
That is the vibe. Yeah, but I'm not that guy, just to be fair.
What guy are you? The guy that dresses in a ball cap and t-shirt but struggling?
No, no, it's not that. It's,
It's just
No,
like the one
I-
small detail.
no, I'm just not the guy that goes out like that. I'm not going to go out dressed like a bum and own it. I feel weird doing it. Like, when I get to that point, it's because I've not made time for myself. It's not because I want to look like a guy who doesn't put in any effort and who wears oversized clothes and lets the beard go wild and mad.
I also feel like that's like foodie hipster vibes in a way. You know what I mean?
Precisely,
Like
yeah. So, but I'm saying that's the furthest thing from homeless. That's my point.
You're right, fair. But yeah, these are guys dropping $200 to $400 on a meal for themselves.
Yeah.
But probably have a mustard stain somewhere lower down on the back of their shirt,
Sure.
and they're wearing like Roche runs.
No one's what? No one wears Roche runs.
Just
anymore.
out of touch. Like that's my point. Just out of touch, out of style. But these are the guys.
No. We're not talking about the same guy at all. We're talking about I'm talking about guys that will. No. You're totally misconstruing it. No, I'm talking about like socialists who like to spend a lot of money on clothes. Does that make sense?
I thought we were talking about how they're dressed like bums.
Well, because the clothes they're buying are bummish. That's the point. Like Aimé Léon Doré now, okay? Like these really high end, I guess they're considered high end. These really expensive fashion companies out of New York sell to guys who can wear it one of two ways. You could be like, you could be like really put together with it. You could be like Lapo Elkan, okay? Remember Lapo Elkan?
No.
He's an Agnelli. His brother, I think, is John Elkan, who's like the president of Juventus.
Okay, yeah.
Or of Exor. Fuck, I don't know.
Exxon?
Exxon. Yeah, the parent company, whatever. Lapo's the wild one. He'll buy like street hipster clothes, but then he'll pair it with like, I don't know, a really like a matching sock, and he'll wear big frames, and he'll have like a manicured look to him. But then you have other guys that'll go the other way, that'll deliberately not shave for 6 months, but they'll wear New Balance that are clean and crisp and new, and wear expensive clothes that are made to look a little bit like
I get what
loungy.
you like.
But
The
they're
guy that
socialists.
founded Twitter, that dude.
Yeah, kind
Jack.
of. Sure. Yeah, Jack. Yeah, I guess.
I get you.
I suppose. I don't know, man. Well, it's great to have
Only
you back.
wearing neutral colors too, right?
Yeah,
I said that.
yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
So this is the last time you're coming on.
Most likely, yeah. Unless you literally hold me at gunpoint the next time,
No,
which
no.
I may just say pull the trigger, but
That's not nice. That's not true. That's not true. I can always get you back. I pride myself on always being able to just blink, I don't know, put on the puppy dog eyes and say, "Hey, buddy, come on, it's me. Have a cigarette."
I'm good. Stop trying to pressure me into smoking cigarettes.
I'm not trying to pressure you into smoking. I'm trying to make myself feel better about the fact that you're tired. If I give you a cigarette and you smoke it,
Well, if only you can give me the last hour back,
I'll
then
go-
you'd feel a lot better.
have a
about
cigarette.
yourself.
You'll feel like it was an hour ago. It'll bring you back to life.
I'm good, bro.
So you watch no Olympics? You were telling me. We were talking off pod before.
I've not like actively gone to watch something from the Olympics. I've seen some maybe small clips before they get copyright striked, which I was just telling you before. I don't understand that media strategy from the Olympics. I don't get it.
No, I don't get it. You know what I really don't like is there's events going on constantly, and I should be able to gamble on all of them and stream them all easily. And I can't.
So you can't gamble.
No, so
on-
you
can you?
can't.
Because it's like
I think you can. I'm not, but I it sounds like I'm not, but
sounds exactly like what a guy who's gambling on every event would say.
I know it does, but I'm not. But I was curious to see like how the interface worked. So I went on bet365.com.
You went on Bet365 to check the medal count. It's just a good
No,
format.
I didn't log in. I didn't log in. I didn't log into an account. I just went to their website to see how it's configured. I wanted to see what you could bet on, because literally I didn't even understand like how you would bet on swimming, right? Because if
Who
you're
wins?
yeah, but I don't know what other variables you could bet on, right? Because normally if you're a guy who like places a little action once in a while on like football on the weekend, for example, right? There's a bunch of things you could levy, right? Like over under on goals, yellow cards, corners, shit like that. So I was curious, like how do you even bet on archery, you know? Like how degenerate does it get? Are you just betting on who wins, or can you bet on where the guy's next shot will land? In the yellow zone, the blue zone, and the red zone? So I checked it out, and obviously all the events are there, and I'm realizing, and again, I can't reiterate enough, I'm not gambling on this, but if I wanted to just go on a heater, if I was a guy that enjoyed sport handicapping, or if I was a guy who had like really nothing going on and wanted to just sit down and fucking gamble on this, I should be able to. I should be able to stream all of this stuff.
So you're saying you can't, though?
Well, you can gamble, but it's hard to watch a lot of this stuff, because basically the way they work it is, I guess because there's so many events going on simultaneously. And I only really got into them yesterday, because on the weekend I was busy. But then, you work from home, so you kind of you throw them on, right? I have a high-stress fucking job. I just throw them on, and I can putz around, if I just want to like have it on as background noise. But what I've noticed is you're kind of at the mercy of what the local national broadcaster decides you should see.
Right.
So if Canada women rugby sevens are on, that's what you're watching. Even though like Serbia playing Australia in basketball,
right,
may be a more compelling sport to watch. It's very hard to watch it all simultaneously.
Not only that too, right?
You have to like
Sometimes
stream it illegally, I guess.
An event will already happen, but then they'll only broadcast it live.
It drives me nuts.
In like prime time or something.
Yeah. Exactly.
How do they manage to keep
it's
that?
It's very antiquated.
But how do they manage to keep that under wraps in a social media age where all it takes is one person at an event?
Because you got to be a fiend to be scrolling, Twitter all the time and saying, what are the results? You're literally.
I guess.
I literally never have a clue what's going on until or unless they show me what's going on.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
TSN gives me the push notification.
Type
Golden judo.
Golden judo. Did you hear that lady speak?
No, but I saw she won literally because the other person fouled out. Like they just like false started.
She's Japanese.
Like
but she's been in Canada for like 7 years, and they asked her what it means to her, and she's like, I'm very happy to win this gold medal at the Paris Olympics 2024.
It's like a chat GPT fucking script.
It's like, is this how all Asians sound? I was like, what's going? It's crazy. But
that's like when the U.S. had that unreal historic upset against, like, was it Pakistan in cricket? And then you read every name on the U.S. team, and it's all guys from Pakistan.
just betraying the motherland.
I think the captain of the team was like a high up, maybe not high up, but like high middle management guy at Google. And he's like an unreal cricket player, like dominating the. Yeah, I saw it on LinkedIn. I think. That's
just Indian excellence, dude. That's Indian. If you're not fucking,
I don't know what his heritage was.
If you're not playing that's Southeast Asian excellence.
Yeah.
If your parents are from Southeast Asia and you're not in tech at Google, working in the engineering department in software,
while also dominating
international
cricket,
just dummying people from your fucking.
Imagine how many disappointed parents there are in their kids after hearing about that guy.
Oh, that's one really proud family, dude. It's fucking.
I know, but imagine how disappointed all the other, Imagine
how proud that guy's dad
East Asian parents.
You know how proud that guy's dad is. The guy's probably Indian. He probably just grew up fucking hearing his dad like lament, just rail on Pakistan his whole life. He's like, I gotta do them honor. Good for him.
Yeah.
I mean, so I've been watching the Olympics for about 24 hours. Did you see the scandal about the? Did you see the scandal about the Canadian women's national team with the drones?
Yeah, I did.
Italian guy, Italian name. I think the video coach was a WAP.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
One of our own. Just doing his job.
That I didn't know.
I want to bring back the old school days of Marcelo Bielsa, just going up on the hill with binoculars.
Right.
That's the honorable.
When it was low tech, it wasn't a scandal.
It was It was more honorable. It was like if I
sneak in to get there.
Like it was Marcelo Bielsa too.
Like an old timey cartoon villain, like tiptoeing their way into the stadium,
wearing camo,
high stepping it.
Yeah, well, one of my favorite stories in football management ever is the fact that Mourinho had to hide in a garbage can because he got a red card. He couldn't interact with his players, so he went to the changing room that morning at like 9 a.m. and then he just hid in the towel.
There's no way. Was this confirmed?
No, he admitted it.
Oh yeah.
He got a red card, I think, in a Champions League game, and he was suspended for the next match. So he got there like several hours before the officials arrived, and he just sat in the changing room, gave the team talk before they headed out, and then Mourinho was just in the changing room and had to find a way out. So the kit man rolled him out in like in like a garbage bag filled with jerseys. and then he said he was severely claustrophobic, and he had to come up for air, and he was like
That's literally out of a cartoon.
He's incredible. That's Mourinho right there. So those are the types of managers that we love, you know.
And he's coaching Fenerbahce now?
Yeah, because he's a bro, because he's a G.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think it's also, contextually speaking, because he had the career he did before. Like, how am I trying to word this? If he didn't have that whole career before, and you just take that personality type and person in a vacuum and put it in another body, would they be coaching Fenerbahce? Probably not.
Well, no, but I mean,
but I get what you mean.
Why is anyone coaching the team that they're coaching? It's because of a culmination of.
No, because he's an ego. Because he's an. I bet you like 10 years ago he probably made fun of the Turkish league.
Maybe, but why is Davide Ballardini coaching Genoa right now? You know, because of
that's
all
the best he got.
Because of all the career choices they've culminated in. You know,
I love that guy. How he got fired and rehired 3 times in the same year.
Is he still alive?
I hope so. I want to see a 4th spin at the wheel.
That guy's fucking almost 70 years old, dude.
I love a coach.
Like
I love a coach that has defining characteristics about them that are their accessory or clothing choices, not how they look.
Bald aviators.
Yeah.
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 Right.
And it was always a suit too, specifically.
I don't remember him wearing a suit. I remember him always having sunglasses on, like Top Gun.
Always.
He always had fucking Top Gun glasses on.
And then Yakini with the hat.
Right. No, Ballardini's literally he's like the Italian Tom Cruise. He's this old fuck who just looks like really virile and young, and he keeps getting work.
He doesn't look young.
Yeah, he does.
I don't think you've taken a peek at that guy in a while.
He's got a smooth bald cranium, you know.
He doesn't look young.
If you're bald and if you're severely bald, like just if you have like a real chrome dome, I don't know how old you could be 38 or 68.
Would you buff that? Would you take a buffer and buff your head if you had a chrome dome?
Probably.
Imagine you could just slide on your head. You can like like a handstand and slide on your head.
Break dancing. Wait, what? How
like on a gym floor? Imagine.
How would that work?
Because it's so I don't know. Well, I haven't thought about the physics or balancing, but just imagine it being so shiny. Like and never mind. I'll work that thought. I'll work it.
Okay. No, I mean
bald guy, chrome dome on like a on a bowling alley. That would go flying. That would go fast.
What are you saying?
Like if
you took a guy onto his head like a pin and you pushed him.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm visualizing that. Right now.
And he was sliding like his head or bowling shoes. Okay. Yeah, no, I think breakdancers.
I don't know why I had that. That's how.
No, but you know your head's.
That's how in distress I am up here. I'm having like hallucinogenic thoughts.
But your head's in the right place because breakdancers need to wear a hat to like get spin because the hair creates severe friction. So yeah, you're just rolling frictionless. You could if you buff your head enough, if you grease it up, you know.
I apologize.
So that your skin doesn't tear. You could definitely spin on that thing like a dreidel.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Shalom. No, I didn't think I was gonna watch any Olympics, dude. I watched the opening ceremony, or I watched highlights of the opening ceremony and said, "Oh, I'm not fucking giving any attention to these fucking devil worshippers."
So this I heard about more.
They literally had beheaded Marie Antoinette in the prison that she was held in on fire with death metal.
Okay, I didn't see that. I thought a lot of that critique was just because there was like a drag queen and like a trans person.
Well, no, it wasn't just one. There was a whole boatload of them, and they're trying to fucking confuse the hell out of you, dude. Because they got this woman with this like crazy hot surgically enhanced body, but she has like just a ginger beard.
Oh yeah? Fuck! I missed all this shit.
Yeah. So it's like she's so hot, but then she looks like she should be fucking. She looks like a plumber. So it's like they're trying to tease you, dude. They're trying to say here, look at this. You like that? Fuck you. They're just trying to confuse the hell out of you, dog. That's all they're trying to do. But I think what they did was, so they recreated the Last Supper, and they've since apologized for it because a bunch of Christian groups were like outraged over it, and like people I follow that are like super right wing were like, this is what they're doing, they're evil, and it's like, yeah, of course they are, but
I think they're just French.
I had that thought too. What do you expect?
Yeah, you're in Paris. What did you expect,
Right.
like the Blue Man Group to come
Right.
out and do like the opening ceremonies?
Right. No, to quote a local open micer in Montreal who got banned from an open mic because he did a scene on stage where he was getting raped by the bar stool in front of 2 people at midnight. It was a very funny bit. He was crushed in front of 2 people where he's like, oh my God, the bar stool is raping me, man. And then he gave birth to a baby. It made no sense. But he fucking got banned from that open mic, and he put a documentary out on YouTube about his ban from the open mic, and it's actually very captivating. It's actually very funny. And the guy says, he's like, man, if I did that in France, they'd be fucking licking my ball sack. He'd be like, I'd have Noam Chomsky licking my balls. He was like, if I reenacted a rape scene on stage in Paris, people would be fucking throwing flowers at my feet because it's like a critique. I don't know. I mean, it's a very niche reference I'm bringing forth to you. But
Very.
But you're right that like they do kind of enjoy preposterous like artsy stuff like that, right? That kind of pushes the boundaries of like what we know. They're just doing what they've always done. But
They're like the gatekeepers, I feel like, of modern art. Maybe not France in general, but just like the culture of what an outsider from France sees Paris as.
Maybe, yeah, sure.
I think my favorite thing I heard about the Olympics was how the French government spent 1.5 billion euro to clean out La Seine.
Okay. I thought I was gonna guess they spent 1.5 billion euro
on the fucking opening ceremony.
No, I thought they spent 1.5 billion euro to execute all the illegal migrants.
Well, that could have happened if the election went the wrong way.
No, I think they weren't killing them, but they were rounding them up, and they were kind of, I don't even know where they were putting them. Maybe on trains. Fuck, I don't know. But they were cleaning the streets up figuratively. Yeah.
1.5 billion to clean up La Seine, only to have E. coli levels too high to swim the triathlon in. 1.5.
I could have told you that.
Billion.
I don't think there's a number out there that could clean the Seine. It's just an ecosystem. You're trying to beat Mother Nature.
Imagine.
It's Mother Gaia, dude. She knows what she wants.
Macron probably felt like such a G. Like they're going to be swimming through the Seine for the. I started sounding Quebecois there. I had a good accent for half a second. And then one day of rain washes away $1.5 billion of investment.
Your accent ended at they, they, and then you went pep, but it was good in the beginning because you could have pronounced the th. Why can't you count to 3 in French, or why can't you count to 10 in French?
There's a tree in the way.
There's a tree in the way. It's one of the best joke book jokes I've ever heard as a kid. No,
Quebec joke book.
Yeah,
dude.
no, so. Yeah, no, you're right. It's just because what they did was they spent all their money on just cleaning out the Seine, whatever that even means, and they fucking probably didn't properly move the street people correctly. If they had invested a little bit more, intelligently, they might have been able to put them in an area where they may not have had to, shit in the sewers, and after one day of rainwater, the Seine is dirty again.
Yeah.
I mean,
1.5.
I didn't even.
That's like an unthinkable.
I hadn't heard that, but I'm not surprised because I saw that they were going to maybe hold events in the Seine, and I was like,
the triathlon. They're supposed to swim through it.
I wouldn't have felt comfortable swimming in that thing, dude. I would not have trusted. I mean, how
I mean,
bad do you want?
You don't even feel comfortable taking a city bike. That doesn't shock me.
No, you're right. You're right. They've cut a lot of corners, dude. I mean, they invested all that money into fucking cleaning out the Seine, and then they just make all the athletes sleep on boxes.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
All their beds are made of cardboard, dude.
For sustainability reasons.
Yeah, right. Apparently.
That's what they'll tell you. And then the news breaks a week after the Olympics starts that they wasted up $1.5 billion.
And they also say that you can't have sex in the Olympic Village, but then they distribute like hundreds of thousands of condoms to all the athletes. There's 14,000 athletes there, and they've distributed apparently like 200,000 condoms. So it's like, I mean, which one is it?
To play water balloons, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe.
The French, they're always a tease. They're always a tease. Yeah.
I wonder, yeah. Those condoms definitely also don't fit everyone equally. without getting into specifics, but they could try to aggregate.
You don't think they try to, when they're like I'm assuming there's housekeepers are going around to the rooms. They don't have like a list where it's like
all right,
John
Jamaica,
X.
Jamaica.
They see what country they're from.
No, I think maybe it's like an initiative.
And then they check their inventory system on their iPad.
Dude, maybe it's like a far right thing where they just want like all the white Europeans with like average penises to just procreate. They're just making it impossible for all the fucking Jamaicans and all the Africans to like crossbreed with other.
If they were inclusive, they'd be passing out tampons at every room too.
They may very well be, actually. I hope they are. You imagine a bunch of you imagine how brutal that must be to have to be like an Olympic athlete, like to be a female Olympic athlete and just be on your period for like half the time the Olympics are going on. Half the people there are probably gonna, half the women there are probably gonna be PMSing at some point during the 2 weeks.
But what if what if you're like a weightlifter and you're on your period?
You just get angry, or
yeah, you just get like rage strength and you just fucking clean that barbell right over your head. World record.
You're probably right.
PMS rage.
I feel like everything you know about like female athletes goes out the window when it comes to the weightlifters. Like they probably need to put on the condoms, just hit massive clitoris, if they were to procreate with anyone. Also, I feel like, yeah, I don't know, like you hear like these nice stories about like these female athletes like just having a baby. It's in the last Olympic cycle, it's like, oh, since 4 years ago I become a mom. It's a hard job. This is how I balance, my career as an elite high-level athlete with like, my home life. No fucking weightlifters are having kids, I feel like. They probably can't.
They're probably killing whatever guy they're with.
You imagine the fucking beast of a guy that has to wind.
Gets on top. Oh, he died again.
Shrek. No, I don't know. I mean, but also just the only guys that could handle like a female weightlifter are like male weightlifters, and you don't necessarily. It's not because you're a male weightlifter that you're necessarily attracted to that like super abnormal.
Imagine being their neighbors in the Olympic Village. Two Eastern European weightlifters
just smashing all the time.
No, just smashing. Two like a Ukrainian woman and like a Bulgarian. I don't know if there's any like geopolitics issues between those countries.
No, I know you're good. No, you're good. I know.
Clean.
I think they're clean. Yeah, exactly. But no, like Simone Biles is like 4'8" tall, and her husband like plays in the NFL as like a linebacker. I was talking to Paolo about this yesterday.
Right.
There was a gymnastics event on, and I was like, it's kind of shitty. Like if they have kids, like the dad's so massive that the kid's not gonna be like nimble enough to do that, like gymnastics. But the kid's also gonna be cursed with these like tiny genetics, and maybe they'd have to be like a running back.
Basically. I thought you were gonna go a different way with this, where you're just gonna be like, how does this work sexually?
No, it's not that. I mean,
it's just like it's like
Shaq and his wife.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It's like Shaq and his wife.
I feel like that's the one. That's the one.
Shaq's
his
the
wife
biggest athlete.
versus his girlfriend.
Yeah, no, Shaq's just the biggest athlete that anyone's ever seen. So he's next to just an average height, woman. He's still 2 feet taller than her. But like, yeah, no, I feel like so the kid wouldn't be able to be the kid probably wouldn't be able to be a linebacker like his father, or a gymnast like his mother, because he'd be caught in the middle. But he'd probably be a really good like a running back or something, or like a tight end maybe. Just like bulky but athletic. Good, good movement.
Best story that Shaq ever told was how Stevie Wonder lives in his building, and Shaq's elevator stopped at whatever floor, and it was Stevie Wonder at the elevator, and he walks into the elevator and he goes, "What's up, Shaq?" Never heard that one.
No. He smelt him.
Actually, like, there's a whole conspiracy theory that like Stevie Wonder is not blind.
He's not blind.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think Helen Keller may not.
There's a couple clips of him like feeling up a woman by accident, like because he can't see.
He's the luckiest man alive.
Yeah.
No, you really think Helen Keller was actually like dumb, deaf, and blind and mute and all that shit? I've been working on this joke the last like 2 weeks about like someone I know said that he grew up thinking she was racist. It's like how does she even know that? Like the only working sense she has is like smell. So she'd have to like someone would have to walk in. She'd have to smell them and go like, I don't like this. Whatever this is, I don't like it.
Well, you can't rule that out.
Oh, you can't rule that out. But it could also be that maybe it was just an elaborate scam. Didn't she live in like the 1800s? It could have been just an elaborate scam where they're
I'm
like,
not
"Hey,
too
look."
familiar with her timeline. I'll be
Well,
honest.
It's a weird way of wording. I'm not too familiar with her timeline. You're a
sound-
fucking politician.
I don't know how else to
You know
word
what you
it.
remind me of right there? You ever see The Wolf of Wall Street when they were like getting interrogated by the FBI?
Yeah.
He's like, Holden, what kind of name is that? That is my name. Where were you that day? I do not recall. Can I have that donut? Like, it was your energy there. No, so like I think she lived a long time ago, at least 100 years ago, way before televisions or radios or any of that shit. And the story goes that she was like a blind and deaf woman who was taught how to read. I guess through kind of Braille, or like she had like a caretaker that like put her hand underwater and like tried to teach her what water sounded like, or what water is. I don't know. I said she taught her what water sounded like. That doesn't even make sense. The woman was deaf. But it could have been like an elaborate scheme, because there were a lot of like hucksters back then, I feel like, that might have been like, unless they weren't profiting about it and just became a thing of lore. But if they were profiting off it, like if it was like a sideshow or something, like they were taking her on the road saying, "Hey, look at this fucking blind deaf woman. What's that? Water."
On that topic, like
she's able to read somehow. I don't even know how would you even know that she knows
but
what you're instructing her?
You're having me think, like, you know how in sports debates, someone will say, "Hey Sam, like if you played in the NBA in the 1940s, you could probably put up like a triple double, or like and if you played hockey in like 1950, you'd score 40 goals, right?"
Sure.
So you ever think of how scamming back then must have been so easy?
It really
right?
upsets me.
And now you think about the elaborate type of scams that people come up with now, and you have like that they couldn't do it in this era type of debates. Think of the biggest scammer you could think of. Could they do it today?
Fuck no.
Who? Ponzi. No. You think Ponzi? Well, I guess the Ponzi schemes does exist though. So.
You're right. Ponzi could never do it today. Ponzi doesn't have the juice. Ponzi would have to.
I did a deep dive on that guy once. I forget the
Charles
whole story.
Ponzi, right?
Yeah,
Charles Ponzi.
Italian who immigrated to the U.S. and always wanted to run in circles to be seen as like a rich kid. That's how he got into scamming. He wanted to live like a high life.
Ponzi would be Andrew Tate today, dude.
Was he that type of personality?
Well, I don't know. He probably would have just, he probably would have found some kind of. He would have found a way.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
I think. So I know, but it really upsets me that I wasn't born 100 years ago with the knowledge that I have now. Like, I've thought about this. Like how did anyone catch Bonnie and Clyde?
Right.
I've talked about this on a pod before. Like, it was with Ian Edwards. I remember because he said, it was like 2 years ago almost. He was saying, like, who saw me rob a bank at full speed and was able to draw a wanted picture of it?
Right.
Like, if you just go to the next town over, you could just start another life.
Yeah.
Like, Chael's son in the MMA, the former MMA fighter turned, media personality.
Pundit.
Jokes about how, like back in the day, like, he's like, I'm from West Lynn, Oregon. And I'm from an era when you could rob a bank in West Lynn and move to Portland 15 minutes over and start a new life.
Yeah.
And it's true. Do you think about how devastated that guy must be, Charles Ponzi, if he realizes that he's like just under CCTV surveillance all the time? And it would just be so easy. We just go to the next fucking town and just repeat the same
100%.
script. No one's sharing information.
Same thing with I don't know how. I think I heard this on a podcast. I don't know when. The first ever catfish was
probably an arranged marriage.
No, it was a lady. I'm gonna botch the whole story, but I have the essence of it. It was there was a rich man, and there was a lady who was the con artist, and she
had a dick.
She I don't think that was physically possible back then. She would tell the rich man, hey, I'm friends with, it was some royalty person. I'm gonna bring her your letters, and she's gonna give me some back to give to you. And she was just obviously fucking writing the letters, when your parents make up a celebrity's answering your fucking letter or some shit like that. That's a really dated reference.
He got Lene Kukua.
Yeah, is that
he got Matt out,
but by messenger pigeon instead, or by scroll instead of fucking iMessage. But yeah, so how did anyone get caught back then? You had to really have a fuck up, a real slip up.
Yeah, I think
poor execution.
Charles
one
Ponzi
day
couldn't do it today because if he was a good scam artist back then, I wouldn't know about him. How do you get caught in 1920?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
You know what I'm saying?
But then how does the Ponzi scheme still exist? I guess it's not a crime. Well, it is. Well, MLM or Ponzi? Remember when you got roped into MLM? Have you ever spoken about that on here? If you haven't, you probably should.
What was it again? Oh, it was
Omar.
It was Primerica. Yeah. Right, Primerica.
Sam was a knife salesman merchant.
Omar the Somali. No, I smelt a rat immediately. But the thing is, I didn't go down without a fight. I slow rolled him. I noticed every time Omar would talk to me, I would be like I knew it was a scam.
I don't think you knew right from the get go, but eventually you.
I was like, he invited me to an office. They had an office, dude. It's a place of business. It's where they do business. He took me to an office in Saint Laurent, next to a Chipotle.
Milan's Chinese owner had an office too. It was rat infested and empty.
There were no rats in this office. I went to the office. They had a logo. I said, okay, this is a brick and mortar business. And I didn't like that I had to put money up front. And I said, I'm not going to do this. But I told my friends about it and said, this is weird, isn't it? Yeah. And I wasn't the only guy from our class, I think, who had gotten recruited.
Oh, no.
And everyone was like, oh, yeah, those fucking assholes. And we all commiserated, but I wouldn't let it go. I started texting them that I was going to get the cops involved, which was just crazy because it's
like a legitimate business. It's just multinational.
Yeah, it is the multinational. It's the most sophisticated one ever. The guy was reading it like, bro, is this fucking kid? Here's the thing. Like, the guy was in his 20s. He was older than me, but he was still a young man. Yeah. Like, might I have been scaring him? I might have been using buzzwords like, I'm gonna go to the Better Business Bureau. Like, once you invoke the Better Business Bureau, dude,
triple B, there's no going back.
Once you invoke the triple B, dude, if you're a young guy who really has no business world experience except for working for an MLM scheme, even though an 18-year-old kid is kind of just
he first probably had to Google what the Better Business Bureau was.
You're probably sweating a little bit.
And then, yeah.
I don't know. No, but it was like it was a legitimate company. Like, they actually offer, you could buy Primerica insurance. You imagine how down bad you have to be to actually buy Primerica.
Wait, it was insurance? I thought it was knives.
No, that's Cutco.
Oh, yeah.
I actually, dude, this one time when I was interviewing for like a retail job, but I was like 18 years old during CJEP, I was interviewing for a retail job. It was like sales. Guess. Remember, I was working at Guess for a year in CJEP. So it's a sales job. So some chick.
Wow.
What's that?
That's I think you might be insulting some people listening to this that like actually work in sales, but right. Carry on.
But you know, that was like the billing. It was like, you got to be personable, you got to be attractive, you got to be put together. We want you to be, you're the face of the company. We need people to look.
Meanwhile, you were missing your target every day because Guess clothing is some of the most garbage shit out there at crazy expensive prices.
I hooked up a job for you too there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I started dating my girlfriend, I was like, "You ever shop at Guess?" And she scoffed. She had to teach me how it was crap. I got like brainwashed into thinking it was like a quality product because I would just see these like Lebanese women like wear these bustiers with like cleavage, and I'd be like, I mean, wow. I was like 17, 18 years old. I was like, oh my gosh, she looks great. I didn't realize it was just because the guy who would make it was like this Lebanese pervert, Paul Marciano, who would just like date these like really young women. He's like, I want to see her breasts, you know? So I didn't realize it was just like trash clothing. Like I would just see like these moms like come out of the changing rooms wearing like leopard print. And I'd be like, I don't know, this is raw. Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
but now in hindsight, I know it's like absolute, like it's tacky, it's garbage. But when I was a kid, I didn't realize any of that shit, right? I just thought like, this is decent.
Yeah.
It's a decent product. There's a fucking call to prayer on the level above. I don't know if the mics are picking that up. But yeah, so for that job, the lady hiring us, I think it was like a group interview with like me and like 3 other guys. And there was some Filipino dude who was talking about his sales experience of like selling knives. And immediately I know he's talking about Cutco. And they're giving you these like fucking absolute muffin layup underhanded questions, like someone comes in and asks you this, what do you say? And I give a really basic, I'm a respectable young gentleman answer. And this guy's like, in sales, he basically, without saying it, he basically said, without saying it in so many words, he's like, I'm a sleazebag. I'm a sleazebag and I'll lie to people if need be. Like his whole thing was, he was like, you know, when I close a sale, I dial in on this goal. Like he's the hunted and I'm the hunter, right? And I'm just going for that. And I'll do whatever I got to do. Like even if I have to lie. So like with knives, you just say this is a really good product and it'll last you 10 years, even if it won't, even though you have no idea. That was just the guy's whole shtick.
Right.
Like, that's who would sell Cutco knives.
Right.
But the whole thing with, obviously, Cutco is you're not selling the knife. You're selling...
The set, no?
No, well, you're getting more people to sell the set.
Oh, right. Then they buy it. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You got to buy... Well, here's the thing, right?
You had to buy
knives,
10 sets.
you buy 10 sets of knives that you go on the road with.
You offload one to
them.
some sucker and you go, you want to take these 7?
No, you could sell them, or you could just go to your friend and say, lateral move. Hey, do you want to buy 10 sets of knives that you could then sell at a major markup and make a lot of money? So that guy could then go do the same thing. So that's what the guy was really doing. But he's like just talking about, he was talking about his sales experience, and he's like, yeah, like I'll do whatever I got to do. I'll lie. Like I have a lot of experience selling knives, and that's a really tough business.
Did he get hired?
No, no. And apparently a lot of illegal immigrant, like Mexicans along the southern U.S. border would get roped into stuff like that, like Herbalife.
Right.
John Oliver did a whole thing about that years ago, like how like multi-level marketing schemes are a thing, and apparently a ton of the people that get involved are just like people that can't even legal, or like, you know,
well, yeah,
maybe some of them are legal. It's not really the point.
But that surprises you.
It's just abuelas, bro. Fucking.
But that surprises you.
Pushing Herbalife.
That doesn't surprise me.
Dude,
they need a
it's
resort.
a legitimate
They need
company. They sponsored LA Galaxy.
No, I know, but like
Cristiano Ronaldo did fucking like ads for them. I thought it was a real company, and then I found out it was an MLM.
It is a real company. Yeah, but
it could be a pretty good business.
They're greasy. They're greasy companies. Like they're legit, but like I think that what's the difference? I actually don't even know what the difference between a Ponzi scheme and an MLM is. To be honest with you.
No, an MLM is a Ponzi scheme. A multi-level marketing thing is just specifically when
there is
no
a core differentiator.
Well, a Ponzi scheme is only to do with money. It's only to do with like financial stuff. I know it's a really bozo way of wording it, but a Ponzi scheme is basically like you pose as a hedge fund. It's like you pose as a hedge fund manager or something, or you pose as like an investment banker. Give me your money so that I can invest it for you.
That's fucking Bernie Madoff.
Correct. He ran a Ponzi scheme. It was not multi-level marketing. He ran a pure old school Ponzi scheme.
But is that the
that's a
defining thing?
Yeah, that's a textbook Ponzi
okay,
scheme.
Okay, yeah. I was looking it up. I didn't know.
So basically, a Ponzi scheme and MLM are both pyramid schemes.
Yes, exactly.
That's the key.
Exactly.
Right, that's what it is.
That's where the Venn diagram intersects.
That's the Venn diagram intersection. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But a Ponzi scheme is specifically like when some guy will go around saying, if you give me your money, I will make you a handsome return. So I ask you for $10,000, and then I go to another guy. He gives me $10,000, and I take half of his money, and I say,
right.
Look at this, 50% return,
right.
And so on and so forth. And to be fair, it's just a redistribution of money. There's just one guy at the bottom.
Until there's the last people at the end that get the fucking egg on their face.
So do you think you could run a Ponzi scheme that's like just circular? Where like the guy who's about to get screwed,
someone has to get fucked at the end.
But what if it just never ends?
Whoever dies first.
Yeah, it's the game of chicken. Like here, think about it.
There would just be an indefinite cycle of you have money and then you don't, and then you get it and then you don't, and then
when you got it,
it's my turn to be broke for the next 2 months. Like,
right. I remember when
time to look like Sam.
I remember a teacher we had in high school in grade 10 gave me the nickname Ponzi because I asked him, sir, just hypothetically.
I feel like I remember.
If you could run a Ponzi scheme where there is no bottom, it's just a circle and it goes back to the top, is that immoral? And he's like, what are you talking about? You're Ponzi from now on.
Who called you that?
JK.
Oh, yeah.
The man. Yeah, I don't know, man. But whatever. The Sen, $1 billion.
Ponzi.
The Olympics are kind of a Ponzi scheme. Sort of. Like just invest money into the IOC. Just give the IOC money to put on this event, and you wind up fucked at the end of it. You just have all this infrastructure you can't use. It's basically what happened to Greece in 2004.
What I find crazy about the Olympics is how 90% of these people, right, maybe it's more even, are irrelevant. And again, I'm saying this.
No, you're so right.
They're like
They're so
I know
smart. They're so smart.
But like there's
They know
obviously,
that you don't want to watch shooting and equestrian riding in
when
January.
when it's like the local championship,
Yeah.
right?
So what they-
You're like,
yeah.
oh, those people are weird.
Yeah, by
They
the
do
way,
that.
there's like an annual, like every year, judo's taking place. There's a world championship.
yeah.
Every 4 years, they call it the Olympics.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the same thing. What do? They take all the shit that's got no marketability whatsoever.
crazy.
And you put it in front of people, and you have people with tits and beards dancing around in an opening ceremony. Gets people talking. You have Lady Gaga performing Celine Dion, you know, scream into a fucking
She got paid $5 million apparently, Celine Dion, for doing that.
as a preamble for judo and equestrian riding. It's a
Yeah.
total scam.
Yeah.
But they have our attention.
And
You know?
surfing and target shooting and fucking.
Right, breakdancing.
What do you
now.
think's the most obscure event that you could qualify for if you actually put in like 50 hours of practice a week?
Me?
Yeah.
Could I pose as a woman?
No.
Like women's swimming?
No.
I already know how to swim, you know?
That's not obscure.
I feel like if I could pretend to be a woman, I think I could kill rugby because I think I could just run through them. But I say that and they're kind of built exactly like me, so it's not neither here nor there. What are the? I don't know. Pull up a list here. Pull up a list of events.
I will.
Pull up a list of events. Which one is the easiest? Like, which one do you think I could fucking get good at fastest?
No, not that. Like, I'm one that you would be able to do well in if you put in like a shit. Like, if you dropped it all, you said, "Look, this lucrative podcast, I'm willing to move it off to the side and you know sacrifice the cash flows coming in, and I'm gonna invest all my time in skeet shooting, 50 hours a week. You're at the range, you're watching film."
Field hockey.
I've never watched field hockey before. I don't even know how it's played.
Field hockey, dude. Give me 50 hours a week of playing field
What's the
hockey.
best country at field hockey? Isn't it like Australia?
The Netherlands, I think.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Olympic.
Like if they could, I don't know. Yeah, field hockey. I'll just grind it out. It's a team sport.
I would say pistol shooting. Like if
There's
you,
no
if you,
way.
What do you mean? If
Those
you're at a
those guys all
range-
grew up hunting.
But if you're
Are you
just at a
nuts?
range, if you're just taking thousands of shots a week,
Pull up some of the events going on.
I am.
here.
I'm doing it right now.
I think it's field hockey, dude, because it's a team sport. I think I could just blend in with everyone else, and I can just take all
The
the
team
credit.
sport aspect does impact things. That is true.
I think I
because
would
when
have to
you're
be a
up there
grinder.
alone,
I'd have to be a grinder at field hockey who just sneaks in the back door. There are some really.
I'm
like,
gonna
niche-
scroll until I find wild one. Oh wait, this one's mixing.
So there
this
are
one's
some-
mixing.
Yo, so there are a lot of really niche events that I've like looked at in the past week, just like looking at the list of it and saying, "Fuck!" Like if I committed my whole life to this, like who plays water polo?
There's futsal.
Futsal's in the Olympics? No way. There's no way. It'd be one of the most electric sports in the whole tournament.
Yeah, I don't know what this fucking list is.
What are you doing? Just look up.
It's
just
on the
Google it.
Olympics website. The Wikipedia is probably
I'm going
more
with
reliable.
field hockey, dude. I'm going with fucking field hockey or rowing. It's a team, and you just got to be strong.
Rowing's not that obscure. It's a pretty popular sport.
Well,
What's
what-
breaking? Breakdancing?
breakdancing? Yeah. That's
Why is it called breaking?
I don't know. Because they're in France. Breaking. C'est le breaking. I think, yeah, I'm going with field hockey, dude. It would have to be a sport that, like, no one plays that you got to do on dry land. Probably field hockey for me. What about you? What do you think?
I just told you, shooting, pistol.
You're crazy.
No. But contextually speaking, where you are I'm not saying you could just field hockey might be one where you could just fucking jump on the field and blend in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I play
Like,
soccer. I play hockey. Let's go. Fucking, I'm running around on grass. Give me a stick. What are we doing here? And I shoot
I
right-handed.
just, feel like
Apparently,
I just feel like shooting is
all
one
have
of
to shoot
those
right-handed.
shooting's like one of those skills where it's just pure repetition. Right?
yeah, or being born with like autism, severe autism, and you just focus on like
And then
being
you
on
miss,
Adderall.
and then you miss and you hit someone in the ear.
No, I think those guys can dial in. I think if you could probably just take a bunch of Adderall too and just get really focused and maybe. No, I don't know. And
I'm saying shooting.
I shoot right in hockey, and apparently when you play field hockey, you have to shoot right. It's a weird rule. So naturally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. It's like the governing body of field hockey is just like the nuns back in the day. They would slap you when you wrote with your left hand. It's just some. The governing board, some fucking Dutch guy that just cracks you with a stick if you shoot left. I don't know, man. But like the drag queen thing, when they depicted The Last Supper, was funny to me because so many guys just melted down. So many guys melted, dude. They completely melted when they saw that. They were like, ugh. It's like, bro, you're a fish.
I know.
Like, you know what they're doing here.
I know.
They're trying to upset their father and you.
They did the equivalent of like
They Karened out.
of like baiting on social media when you know you're trying to anger a specific group of
Oh,
people.
yeah, that's what you mean. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like you're shit posting.
They fully taunted
They fully
them, dude.
shit posted.
And the people fell for it hook, line, and sinker like a fucking Karen who's like calling about the fucking who's calling about like people going too fast on
No,
the
it's like
street.
the meme of the bald black dude in the polo that has like the phone on his ear, you know, and he's just his arm crossed. Oh, you got to put a fucking picture of that.
The guy behind the tree? What are you talking?
No. Oh my God, no. Come on. People definitely know this
What are
one.
you talking about?
Oh, you're crazy. I'm going to pull it up.
I'm thinking of the black guy fucking rubbing his lips, dude, or licking his lips.
No.
with his fucking- People listening. I'm rubbing my hands together. Fucking just licking
This
my lips.
one.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, that
You so
energy.
didn't know this? You're not.
No, I've
cultured-
seen
you're
that.
Not,
I've seen
you're
that
not
before.
cultured in
That, no,
memes.
that guy. You know what that looks like? That looks like the guy who goes, "Why are you gay?" Don't you find he looks like the fucking the African journalist who asked that?
No, he doesn't.
I think he
Yeah,
does.
just a mildly racist comment.
No, show me.
He does not. He does not look like
He
him.
has like the same head. He's a guy with glasses.
Keep digging, bud.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll overlay them together. You be the judge. No, but yeah, it's like people just fell for it hook, line, and sinker, dude. It's like fucking fish, man. I don't know.
I agree wholeheartedly.
But like the fun thing about the Olympics though is like it covers all sports. So you have these people that are just having their moment in the sun, but they're basically just civilians. Like Carlos Alcaraz, the tennis star, is staying in the Olympic Village. 'Cause
Yeah,
he just
I
wants
think
to-
the same things of the USA basketball team.
No, so they're
You know, like they're global superstars, and imagine like they're
in a
staying
hotel.
next door to like
they're staying in a hotel.
some guy from Costa Rica doing fencing who probably just learned how to do it 3 years ago.
Exactly. So, but like like Carlos Alcaraz is just taking selfies all the time.
Right.
So the only downside for him is like he's eating prison food. So he gets to bone a bunch of fit athletes.
Yeah.
Like everyone's taking a selfie with him, so everyone wants to have sex with him. He's like a 21-year-old rich guy who's like world famous. But the downside is he has to eat prison food. Like they don't live well. They're living basically on it's like a college dorm.
But you don't think some of these like superstars have the rules bent for them, or they're able to? Like, you don't think LeBron could just fucking Uber Eats something to the Olympic Village?
He doesn't live in the Olympic Village. I looked this up today. They're in hotels. Novak Djokovic is staying in a hotel. Carlos Alcaraz chose to stay in the Olympic Village.
Okay, I understand.
Because of how much punani is there.
Right, got it.
Because of how much fucking... There's a picture of him with like the Dutch field hockey team. Where they're all taking selfies and he just looks like the happiest guy on the planet. You got in trouble because you liked a post where someone was like, Carlos Alcaraz said he wanted to stay in the Olympic Village for the experience. Then it's like the experience is just him with all these fucking blondes. And then there was another picture on that same post. Again, he liked this Instagram post, and I think his agent logged into his account and unliked it. It was just like a meme that said Carlos Alcaraz after 2 weeks in the Olympic Village. And it was just like a stick shift, like broken, disjointed the wrong way. So
that's good.
So like that's the only really probably fun thing about it. There is the camaraderie, and just if you're like a young single person, it's just they're all college age kids doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
You do your event, takes place over 2 days, then you just
get drunk the rest of the time.
Get drunk on taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
The government subsidized by the government of Zambia. You're one of the 4 Zambian athletes.
One of my favorite things, again, I didn't see the full opening ceremonies, but I saw some parts when they would show the population size of the country and how many athletes there were.
Some sad stats there.
Yeah, I think it was like Bangladesh. Like that ratio was way off, like hundreds of millions, maybe like 2 athletes, 3 athletes.
Are they 2?
Yeah, something like that. And then you have like.
Cool. Cricket should.
I saw there was like a 71,000 population country. Was it Bahamas? And they had like fucking 18 people probably all running track.
Yeah, no, it's great. Honestly, the Olympics is good because it just reminds you that the Caribbean exists.
Yeah, CONCACAF doesn't remind you of that.
But the fun thing about CONCACAF is that CONCACAF is like the most.
Remind you that like Paraguay is a country.
No, CONCACAF is the most like. CONCACAF is the most fun kind of corruption there is in football. It's the most overt, because you know why? Because all the heads of like the football federations of these like
Saint Kitts.
third world, these like second or third world fucking Caribbean countries just live like royals, dude. Like literally, dude. Like the president of like the Trinidad Football
Jack
Association.
Warner. Well, not anymore, but yeah.
He lived like a king.
Yeah.
And literally, because he would just take kickbacks all the time.
Remember when
like that, but dude, one of the highest positions of power you could probably rise to in the Bahamas is like the head of the sporting association.
When Jack Warner you run the Atlantis Hotel, but when Jack Warner got ousted as the CONCACAF head?
I cannot believe that guy was the head of
whatever.
CONCACAF, dude.
And then the guy that took over ran his whole campaign on like beating and crushing corruption, and then like 6 months in he was caught taking bribes.
Where was he from?
I don't remember.
Was he a fellow Caribbean man?
Yeah, I think so. I believe so. Fuck, these are all. You need a guy on a laptop pulling these things up.
You're bringing me good. You're bringing me good. No, you're bringing me good stories here. But
fuck.
Well, I mean,
it was in the Netflix documentary. I don't remember.
Right. The FIFA Uncovered one, and it was comical because the guy was like very overt with it.
Yeah. He ran his whole platform on that.
No. He was overt with the asking for kickbacks. He was like, listen.
Oh yeah.
Listen, this isn't gonna happen unless I wet my beak.
Yeah.
These guys would just swing their dicks, dude. It's crazy. Like these guys just run. These guys run like a failing. These guys run a failing football association of a country with with a desolate economic situation.
Yeah.
And
they're living in a fucking palace,
like fucking Rothschilds, dude.
Yeah.
No, but they're fully like.
There was even a story.
They're living like diplomats.
There was even a story of Jack Warner. Is Trinidad a country where you can't get extradited to the U.S. because there was something about how the Americans couldn't come after him wherever he was staying. I don't remember where, but then his sons got into the mix apparently, and
I think he had a son in Miami or something.
Yeah, and they got like arrested, and he like didn't post their bail, and he basically told them tough luck. Like, what a dickhead!
I love that guy so much. Would you remember when John Oliver came at him? On one of his second time I referenced John Oliver.
I know what you're talking
about. But when John Oliver talked about him, and then the following week
he issued a statement with fucking epic music in the back.
He goes, I do not heed to
a
comedian clown.
There was like fucking 1,000 violin orchestra on the back. Like it was like epic music playing. There was like he literally posted it from his own personal channels with music in the back on his reply.
Yeah, and he called dude, I'm telling you, man. They act like they're politicians that matter. They don't. I mean, Jack Warner, man, he just fucking so the thing is he would just in essence accomplish very little for his constituents and for his country. Position of basically no power, but because the job put him in a spot where he was able to make ungodly amounts of money, he took the campaigning very seriously.
Yeah.
And so anything he would do publicly was released like he was running for office. Okay? Except it kind of, because they had really low budgets and they're in the Caribbean, it kind of had like the vibe of like a congressman's political campaign for district whatever in Georgia. Okay?
Right.
Like the campaign with Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis
like
type
the
shit.
third odds-on favorite.
So Jack Warner, when he made that video, okay, in response to John Oliver, in addition to having really epic music, had a really dramatic title too. I think it was called "The Gloves Are Off." It was Jack Warner, "The Gloves Are Off." It's like I'm not going to take this anymore. Let's go back to this. Play the video. Load it up. Look up Jack Warner, "The Gloves Are Off." I'll bet you it's still on YouTube. There's no way they would have taken it down. This is after like the FIFA Uncovered documentary. This is after the guy's been probably convicted in absentia or whatever the term is of corruption charges. Like they actually hit these guys with like RICO Act charges. It's crazy. They just represent football.
The video's 588 views in 9 years on his personal YouTube channel.
And I address on my own behalf. Over the past week, a series of events has taken place which have now caused me to come to the national
Even has a
committee
little moniker on
on
the bottom
important
right,
emerging
Warner
matters.
TV. What the fuck?
How many
As most of
subscribers
you
does
are
he have?
For my
I might
entire
have more
life,
than you. No, it's like
whether in
less.
teaching,
377.
football, or politics,
I would have told you to jump
I
off
have
the
worked-
balcony if Jack Warner had more subscribers than you. That's for sure. That would have been rough.
Hey, thanks for coming back and filling an hour. You have nothing to plug. It's great to have you on.
Yeah. Just my ears.
You're just a civilian.
Just my ears.
Just a civilian.
Yeah.
Well, you gonna come back on the show ever again?
I don't think so.
It's been a good ride.
It has.
Listeners, you can tune in to the pod every week if you're so inclined. We're normally solo, but Nick, I'm happy to have had you on here. I don't have to work as hard. It's very strenuous to go solo, man. It's very strenuous to have to go into the deep embers of your brain and be entertaining.
Only you could work with yourself, Sam. So that's it's perfect.
Well, Delo's been doing it for no money, but there's a lot of the same thing where it's just a long time to set up, and but we just talk about. I just talk about his parlays, and he kind of and he gets distracted. That's how I just dangle a little. I dangle a
Like a
little
golden retriever with a tree in front
Just
of
dangle
him.
the keys in front of
Talk
him.
about his degenerate habits.
It works. I tell Dilo, hey, you want a cigarette? And he's like, I'll have one. So it's all the methods don't work on you.
No.
They normally get people in the
Iron-willed.
Well, no, thanks for coming on, listeners. Thanks for tuning in. You can subscribe if you're new or don't. It doesn't really matter. We got more subs than Jack Warner. That's honestly all I could ever ask for. That's all I could ever ask
Big
for.
life aspirations.
It's actually crazy that guy had fucking 300 YouTube. Dude, it just shows you, man. That guy was operating in the shadows forever.
It was probably
So lucrative. No one paid attention to anything
Yeah.
he did on YouTube. Millions of dollars.
half of them were probably the like bidding cities for World Cups or something.
Okay, bye.